Sex, porn, love addiction is all about self-soothing to manage your emotions. It got set up back in the childhood development years. It's just not about sex. It's not about porn. It's all about the repeated use has set up the physiology to crave those dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, self-manufactured drugs in the body. It's impacting women, men, children aged 10 to 75 across all the age ranges, the sexes, the cultures, the professions. It increased exponentially during COVID lockdown and impacting so many lives. The Kairos Center has created the first online comprehensive sex, porn, love addiction. It's a video on demand recovery program which you can access from anywhere in the world and begin to see identifiable changes just within 6 weeks of beginning this weekly program. Kairos means your appointed time. Isn't it your time to reclaim your life? Bring colour back to life without shame. Click the link below and begin your journey. You owe it to yourself and to others. Here let's talk about the disturbed attachment cycle. What does that look like? So that over on this hand, what does that disturbed attachment cycle look like? So that the three insecure attachments get set up. So at the 12 o'clock position, baby is at rest. Baby experiences discomfort or a need. Baby protests, usually by crying, but mother does not respond, or the main caregiver does not respond to the baby's cry, or else responds inconsistently. Sometimes they attend to the baby, other times they don't. Baby never knows when they're going to come, when they're not going to come. The baby protests even louder. Now, you aren't going to remember issues like this in your life. Now, the problem is your brain does. It does remember the distress times over and above the reasonableness of what the baby felt for a mother, a caregiver, to come and attend to their needs. Remember, a baby really just has a limited number of pretty important needs, but they're very limited. When I'm hungry, I cry because I want to be fed. When tired, I cry because I want to sleep. When pooed, nappy, cry because I want to be changed. Those are pretty much the basic but significant fundamental needs that the developing baby has. And baby wants those needs attended to reasonably promptly, or increased distress occurs. And it's in that place of increased distress where a good enough does not come. Now please don't try and do parenting of your children or observe other people just by this which I'm talking about and think, oh my goodness, I remember my child or somebody else's child being left and they were distressed. Children and babies are really resilient. Don't try and do your upbringing based upon this simplistic explanation that I'm taking you through. There's a lot more to the distress which the baby experiences frequently and often enough. And so with that increased protest and crying louder, the mother might not respond at all just because they're not emotionally available, just because of substances, alcohol, drink. Don't really do babies. Had baby, but not really a maternal type of person. It could be that mother responds with resentment, which baby is going to detect in some way, or just does not respond at all, or just inconsistently. More rage on the baby's part. Apathy the over time of this behavior continuing repeatedly can set in. Baby becomes more lethargic. But rage is what the brain is going to detect. How does the baby express rage? Not often necessarily in an obvious anger, crying way. The baby just may become much more subdued and internalizes the pain and the anguish and the rage. Can you imagine that internalized, it's not safe to express anger and rage, even learning that as a newborn, developing baby, toddler? How you might go on to internalize the anguish, the pain of what you feel somebody else is doing or not doing to you. It's not safe to do conflict, avoid conflict. It's not safe to express needs. Can you see how aspects of this can be interpreted by the baby in a particular way so that these traits continue to manifest themselves later on in life? So over time, the baby plays on their own or just becomes apathetic or just learns to self-soothe. Self-soothe? Just get by in whatever way the baby finds. Again, can you see the sort of traits that potentially get developed so early on? Negative ways of self-soothing, because the brain needs to get the child through what feels to the brain as life-threatening. Remember those 3 basic needs. Where they're not met for the baby, this is life and death stuff. Hunger, tired, pood nappy. Life and death stuff, really significant. There isn't anything else more important in life for the baby at this point.